This is RSN, Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. It is baseball time in Texas.
Back at Busch Stadium for another showdown between the Rangers and the Cardinals, brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. The Rangers took game one of this three-game series 2-1, and they try to secure a series win with Nathan Eovaldi on the mound tonight. Alongside David Murphy, Jared Sandler, happy to be with you. And it's been a true joy to watch the Rangers starting pitchers go to work here recently. This is what we expected. Maybe not dominance to this degree, but we all thought this was going to be the anchor of the team. And here recently, that's been the case with this scoreless streak the starters have put together.
Yeah, there's an obvious correlation between starting pitching success and winning ball games, and that's been exactly the case. It's the subject of our The Home Depot working on a win. You look at Eovaldi through DeGrom, Gore, Rucker, Leiter. I mean, all of these guys have been great. 27 straight scoreless innings, longest by Texas starters since 2011. It all started on Friday with Mackenzie Gore. 9-1 win for the Rangers. He went 6 1/3. He was really good. Kumar Rocker comes on. He's going to show you 2 of the 5 whiffs that he got on his slider. Leiter, he struck out 10 on Sunday. His fastball was up to 99, and when you're dotting with the fastball, you get chased below the zone with your curveball. And then last night, it was Jacob DeGrom. 59 of 91 pitches for strikes. He got 18 swings and misses on his way to win number 100.
Oh, and we go back to Nathan Eovaldi, 5 straight starts of at least 7 innings. And he's been going well. This Cardinals lineup hasn't been going so well.
Yeah, these guys continue to compete with one another. So you know Big Game Nate wants a shot at this one tonight. In our Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, game within the game, his last 5 starts. Look at the 168 batting average, against lowest in the American League. How about the Cardinals, their last 11 games? They've really been struggling. 215 batting average, that's close to the bottom of baseball, as well as the on-base percentage. Minimum 30 innings pitched. Nathan Eovaldi's been really good. He's going to continue that tonight.
Well, tonight is June 2nd. That means it's the 6th annual Lou Gehrig Day celebrated across Major League Baseball. June 2nd, a significant date. It's not only the date that Lou Gehrig started for Wally Pipp to begin his Ironman streak, it's unfortunately also the date that 16 years later he passed from ALS. June 2nd across Major League Baseball is a day defined by Lou Gehrig's spirit, his perseverance, and his resilience. They called him the Iron Horse. For 17 seasons, Lou Gehrig defined consistency and toughness, appearing in 2,130 consecutive games. But on July 4th, 1939, baseball witnessed something greater than statistics.
Past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad brag. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Today, baseball pauses to honor a man whose strength reached far beyond the game. Lou Gehrig Day is more than a tribute to a legend. It's a commitment to raise awareness, support research, and stand beside those battling ALS.
Been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for.
It's presented by Progressive Insurance, a grand slam for your budget. Visit progressive.com. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers. Welcome back to Busch Stadium. The Rangers and the Cardinals on Lou Gehrig Day, second game of a 3-game series. The Rangers took the opener, thanks in part, Murph, to a great Jock Peterson at bat in the 4th inning. Didn't realize that was going to be the difference, but ended up being the case.
Jock Peterson's been really good, especially as of late. StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud, is going to show you some detail into that at bat. We're going to go pitch by pitch. Cutter four-seamer. He gets down 0-2. He battles. He sees some pitches, sets it up for the 3-2 pitch. It's a cutter up and in. Actually, not a badly executed pitch. He gets his hands to it. He's been taking close pitches outside of the strike zone. He's been hitting balls that are inside. He has just been really good.
All right, well, when we come back, we're going to put Jacob Latz in the spotlight here on RSN. On the radio side, you'll be joined by Matt Hicks and Ted Emmerich as we get you ready for the Rangers and the Cardinals from Busch Stadium.
Then ATV.
The Rangers and the Cardinals set for the second of three here in Busch Stadium. The Rangers looking for a season-high 5 straight wins, and they're after squeaking one out last night. As we bring you down to field level here in St. Louis, I'm Laura Stickles. The evolution of Jake Latz is going to have to be something that's studied over the years to come, because he has done just about everything for this Rangers pitching staff over the last couple of years. He's been a spot starter, he's been a long reliever, at times he's been an actual member of the rotation, but right now he is the Rangers' 9th inning guy, and last night he was able to convert back-to-back saves for the first time in his career. He said he was particularly motivated yesterday to get it done because, one, he wasn't able to do it in his first opportunity a week ago, but also because it was Jacob deGrom's 100th career win. So the fact that he was able to get that done for the other Jacob is something that he's going to remember for a very long time. Now, Skip Schumacher doesn't like to get caught up in the semantics of it all, so he's hesitant to call Latz this team's closer, but what he will commit to is that he is the Rangers' highest leverage reliever at the moment, and he will face the other team's toughest pocket. And when you look at these numbers, I mean, you can understand why. He has the lowest whip in the American League since April 15th, and it also doesn't hurt that he has the ability to pitch both the 8th and the 9th innings. So because of that, Skip says he's going to get the opportunity to close out a lot of games. So coming up, we've got baseball for you in St. Louis. It's Jock Peterson, Josh Young, and Brandon Nimmo leading it off. Jared Sandler and David Murphy will have starting lineups and first pitch coming up next year on RSN.
Cheerios, made with tasty whole grain oats for a day full of good.
Time for our Trajan Wealth starting lineup for the Texas Rangers under the direction of their manager, Skip Schumacher. Jock Peterson leading off 8 RBIs in his last 7 games. And speaking of RBIs, Ezekiel Duran, he had 23 RBIs in May. How'd he start off June? Well, he started off with an RBI and a big extra base hit. The Rangers hope to keep things rolling tonight against the Cardinals.
Dustin May goes to the mound for the Cardinals tonight. First year in St. Louis. And he sports a .457 ERA. How about the 1 walk to a right-handed hitter this season? 17 walks overall. The league's hitting .270 against him. Here's the arsenal. 43% fastball, 24% cutter, 19 on the sweeper, and then 7% on both the curveball and the changeup. It's the Cardinals defense behind May tonight. Brian Torres, Victor Scott, and Jordan Walker make up their outfield. It's Mason Wynn and J.J. Weatherholt up the middle. On the corners, Nolan Gorman and Alec Burleson. Jimmy Crooks will be your starting catcher for the Cardinals.
Well, May got off to a tough start this year. He allowed 13 runs over his first 2 outings, but in May he was outstanding, and his last start, it was the best that we've seen May in a Cardinals uniform. He took a no-hitter into the 8th inning in Milwaukee before Garrett Mitchell had a leadoff double. And then, hey, the Cardinals ended up losing that game, but certainly not for May's efforts as he gets set to work to Jock Peterson. The Rangers looking to set a season high with 5 straight wins. Dustin from Justin. The Justin, Texas native fires, and we're underway with a first pitch that misses way upstairs to the Rangers leadoff man, Jock Peterson. Jock has been hitting the ball really well here at Busch Stadium, and his base hit in the 4th inning gave the Rangers a 2nd run, and that would be the difference. That one's a hot shot down the line, fair ball. Walker cuts it off, but Peterson on his way to 2nd. Leadoff double for the Rangers to begin tonight's ball game.
He led off with a walk last night, did not end up scoring, but leads it off here with some action. Hard hit ball down the right field line. sneaks past Burleson at first base. Rangers in business here with the runner in scoring position after one swing of the bat.
So it's Josh Young who gets to face May for a first time. May throws hard, not as hard as he used to, if you can believe it. His fastball is still average in the mid to high 90s, but he used to average closer to 98, maybe 98 and change. Now he's around 96 and change with his four seam, his sinker, and his cutter. And that one gets away. So a free 90 for Peterson. The only change for Ollie Marmol is that it's Jimmy Crooks behind the plate tonight, not Ivan Herrera.
And Crooks reaches across his body. You would think that he'll go to his knees and try to block it. He doesn't. Backfires on him.
It's a DFW battery. Crooks out of Euless Trinity. Dustin May out of Northwest High School. So the Cardinals bringing their infield midway. One of the things that May is best at when he's going well is getting the ball on the ground. And I guess with Josh Young, he's not a speed burner, so maybe it gives you a little flexibility to be midway. And Jock Peterson at third, not a speed burner either. That one by Josh Young on 1 and 2, and the strikeout is the first down of the inning.
You could tell that Young was trying to stay late on the heater. Unfortunately, by the time that he started his swing, the fastball was nearly by him. May rushes it by him at 98.
And May's not a huge strikeout pitcher. Strikeout rate at 20%, league average at 22, so just barely below average in that regard. Bushy redhead now facing Brandon Nimmo. Brandon went 1 for 3 last night. Chopper, foul ball. Maybe a break for the Cardinals. Peterson got a great jump off the bat. Probably would have scored if Burleson had to play that in fair territory.
Yeah, and you can tell what the Rangers are trying to do with that chopper right there. They're going on contact. You mentioned that Jock's not necessarily the fastest guy, but you see him. The second contact is made. You see that downward angle off the bat, and that was a really good break. You don't have to be, as you called it, a speed burner. You don't have to be a speed burner to be a good base runner.
They got a good secondary lead. See what Gorman does to keep him honest. Play near the bag at third. There's a foul ball. So May gets ahead of Nimmo 0-2. Nimmo with some power numbers at Busch Stadium. It was his 4th inning single that ultimately led to the Rangers' first run yesterday. In an 0-2 hole. Swing and a miss. Back foot sweeper. So May gives up the double to Peterson and then gets back-to-back strikeouts with a runner at third and nobody out after the wild pitch.
And the difficult part of the ballpark right now is there are some shadows mixed with sunlight in the outfield, which it can affect the way that the hitter sees the baseball. Definitely seems like it may have to both Young and Nimmo. And May's got good stuff. I mean, we've seen some good fastballs. The cutter that he threw to Nimmo was a really good pitch as well.
He starts Berger off with a sinker off the plate, but Berger goes after it, and May gets ahead. The St. Louis-born Jake Berger, chance to get the Rangers on the board in the top of the first. And May doing a great job of working ahead after giving up the double. He got ahead of Nimmo 0-2, and Berger 0-2. Before that, he got ahead of Young 1-2. Trying to escape some trouble. May, 28 years old, at one point was one of the game's brightest pitching prospects. And he gets Berger chasing up top. 99 with the heat. Dustin May avoids damage in the top of the first. Rangers get a chance. They leave Jock Peterson 90 feet away. Nathan Eovaldi's turn to the mound when we come back from Busch Stadium. No score. We go to the bottom of the first. Nathan Eovaldi getting ready to make a start to try and go 6 straight of at least 7 innings.
12th start of the season for big game Nate. ERA just under 4. 68 2/3. Just 16 walks. 230 batting average against. 39% splitter, 21% cutter, 21% curve. Limits the fastball usage here. 11% on the 4-seamer and 8% on the 2-seamer here in 2026.
Well, he doesn't throw the 4-seam a lot. He's been more effective when he has thrown it here recently, and we'll see how he deploys it against this Cardinals lineup, brought to you by Trajan Wealth. The young J.J. Weatherholt back at the top. It's the exact same lineup. It's just a little bit of a switch with Herrera DHing and Crooks catching. So Ollie Marmol, they just wanted to fill out basically the same lineup card. He didn't have a lot of time to make changes today. Not that the Rangers much different. They just basically changed their catcher. It's Kyle Higashioka catching Nathan Eovaldi. Danny Jansen getting the night off. And Evo, all but one of his starts this year has featured a first pitch 4-seam fastball. And that one misses to Weatherholt. I think Evo might have gotten a fresh cut.
I think so.
Need to ask if that's a pre-start thing. Every 5 days, I don't know. I don't think that is. That'd be pretty intense if you get a haircut every 5 days. I don't have the patience for that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
And Eovaldi falls behind Weatherholt 3-0. Evo, 7 or more innings in 5 straight starts. That's tied for the best run of his career. He also did it in 2023. It's been a while since a starting pitcher has done it in 6 straight starts. You have to go back to 2022. Sandy Alcantara and Aaron Nola did it. Nola did it in 8 straight starts. Alcantara 13 straight. But no one's done it since. Evo trying to change that tonight. And he gets back with a full count against Weatherholt.
I'm assuming that was the year that Alcantara won the Cy Young.
Yeah, that 2022 season. I don't want to say he really burst on the scene, but he really did. He was an all-star. He'd been an all-star before, but won the Cy Young, posting a 2.28 ERA. 228 innings for Alcantara, who actually debuted here at the Cardinals.
And we did a game back in AA Frisco that he started a long time ago.
I want to say it was Alcantara against Ariel Jurado.
Okay.
If I remember. Alcantara was traded by the Cardinals to the Marlins along with Zach Gallen, all for Marcell Ozuna.
Think they regret that one?
I think they'd like to have that one back. Kyle Higashioka wanted to talk things over with Eovaldi. Full count to Weatherholt. And he skies one to left. Osuna dances around it. 1 out.
Our Vivint Rangers defense tonight looks like this. Jared already gave away the secret. Osuna, Carter, and Nimmo. In the outfield, Young, Duran, Lopez, and Berger in the infield. The only difference, Kyle Higashioka, he'll do the catching tonight. Danny Jansen was in there last night.
There's Higgy. And there's Evo. Those two have been a really strong pairing. Evo pointing to us. I think there was a ball on the field. You see the 4 patch. Lou Gehrig Day across Major League Baseball. We mentioned in the Open, this is a day in which Lou Gehrig started for Wally Pipp to begin his Ironman streak, but also 16 years later, the day he passed from ALS. Baseball does such a great job recognizing this day and raising awareness, trying to drive support to find a cure for ALS. I'd like to send love to big Rangers fan Richard Levy, Doc Levy, who's battling ALS. He doesn't miss a game. I'm sure this day is meaningful to him and his family, as well as so many others. Off the end of the bat, Eovaldi's got it. And Herrera, we ground out, so 2 up and 2 down for Evo at the bottom of the first. Well, it was interesting hearing Skip Schumacher in the first, or in the manager's show, talking about the first inning for Jacob yesterday, saying, hey, he could have gone more than 5 innings if there were plays made behind him. That first inning can kind of set the tone for your ability to go deep into a game.
There was a ball hit to third base that Young was not able to come up with. And then a chopper to Berger. He was shuffling off at the time, covering first in similar situation, just not able to get there. So it just goes to show you how little parts of the game, they make a difference later on, or even right now. How about Nathan Eovaldi falls behind 3-0 to the leadoff hitter and then battles back to go ahead and get an easy fly out to left field. Like, that's got to be a big time pitch for him that maybe saves him 5, 6, maybe more pitches.
Burleson loops one to center. Carter plays it on a hop. Burleson went 1 for 4 last night. The Cardinals team leader in multi-hit games gets a knock to extend the first tonight.
This looks like a breaking ball down in the zone. That curveball has been so good this season. He threw it to Herrera and got a weak ground out. Burleson just drops the barrel on it. Line drive to center.
So here's Jordan Walker. He had a rough one last night, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Eovaldi starts him off with a cutter for strike 1. It's been a rough go for Walker of late. Saw that note there at the bottom. Last 7 games, 154 average, no extra base hits as that curve gets away. He has just 1 RBI in his last 7 games. This is a guy who has 43 RBIs on the season. Count 2-1 to Walker.
Now Walker missed some decent pitches to hit last night. Obviously, when you're facing Jacob deGrom, you're not going to get a ton of them. But I guess when you look at the overall numbers, the chase rate above 35% and the whiff rate above 31%, those might suggest that his numbers are a little high right now, and they might come back down to earth.
Chases that splitter. But he is one of these guys, if you go to his Savant page, a lot of red, which is good for Jordan Walker. He hits the ball really hard, great bat speed. But as Murph mentioned, maybe not the best control of the strike zone in the box. Rangers had a great chance on the top of the first with a runner at third and nobody out. Unable to get a run across. Trying to make that the same for the Cardinals, but Walker works the count full. Three-two, swing and a miss. Eovaldi's splitter finishes off the inning. So Eovaldi got a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. A little baseball bingo there. Ezekiel Duran coming up when we return. It's scoreless between the Rangers and the Cardinals.
Well, 0-0 game, top of the second.
Ezekiel Duran leading off. Here's our Ford leaderboard.
24 RBIs since May 1st. How about that? Nick Kurt's the only guy who has more.
Not bad company. Pete Alonso has been on a tear. Zeke coming to the plate with a .299 batting average. He is not yet a qualifier. If he was, he'd rank 6th in the American League. He's 2 plate appearances shy of becoming a qualifier, so he should go to sleep tonight in that conversation. He's got an RBI in 4 straight games as well. May had a little magic act in the first, gave up a double to Peterson. A wild pitch brought Jock to third, nobody out, but then May struck out the next 3, Young, Nimmo, and Berger, to get out unscathed. That one gets away. This all after I said he's not a big strikeout pitcher. He's not in this Cardinals rotation, really not a big strikeout rotation. That's not a huge part of their identity. On the flip side, the Rangers have the 3rd highest strikeout rate from their starters in Major League Baseball. Two and two.
Now, the Rangers only struck out 5 times last night. They struck out 3 times in the first. They didn't record their 3rd strikeout offensively until the last out of the 8th inning.
And that definitely played a role in Jock Peterson's RBI hit in the 5th. He got down 0-2, and Mike McGreevy just couldn't put him away. Good take by Duran, laying off a sweeper. May was a 3rd-round pick of the Dodgers a decade ago. Broke in with the Dodgers. How about that draft class? Gavin Lux, Will Smith, Dustin May, Luke Raley, all in one class. Full count, and Duran draws the walk. So a leadoff base runner again for the Rangers. With Alejandro Osuna coming up, let's pause for a message from Globe Life.
I do think about my family's future. That's what I trust Globe Life. They've been helping families for more than 125 years. Globe Life, make tomorrow better.
How can you not get excited when you hear Elvis's voice?
So awesome. I love that commercial.
Here's Osuna. Well, Elvis talked about the other day how Duran is kind of Elvis, right? The energy he brings, the smile, the positivity. He's as loud as Elvis, but probably doesn't talk as much as Elvis.
It's hard to talk as much as Elvis.
You know, Osuna's kind of the Robin to Duran's Batman. He's always happy. He's definitely not as loud, but in terms of energy and spirit, I'd say he's right there.
Yeah, Brad Miller was talking about it on the pregame show today. Just Duran and Osuna, those guys together, just a ball of energy in the 5 and 6 hole.
See if Osuna can feed off of Duran's leadoff walk. Osuna's been scuffling a little bit. He's 3 for his last 24. Duran over at first is a threat to run. He's inching towards second, but May doing a good job holding. Check swing, and home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez says Osuna went around. Let's check in with Laura.
You guys were, just talking about how much these guys love to play, and I talked to Duran yesterday, and he told me, every day I play in the big leagues is a good day, and what's special about him is that he genuinely means that, and it's true for him. You're right, they both are just balls of energy.
It shows up for sure, just outwardly, the way they play the game, the smiles that you see. It's an important part of any team, really.
Duran goes, and Osuna fouls one away. Now, we talked last night about Ivan Herrera's struggles throwing out runners. Jimmy Crooks doesn't have as much data. 0 for 1 this year. He made his major league debut, small sample size, last year. There's Herrera, the DH. He allowed Danny Jansen's second steal. I asked Skip Schumacher before the game if Danny Jansen was available off the bench as a pinch runner, and he laughed. He said, yes, he is. 2-2. Ground ball to second. Weatherholt to second for one. Wins throw to first, not in time. Osuna hustling. That was a long throw from Weatherholt to second. Ollie Marmol is considering a review. No review.
Well, you see why Duran was stealing on the pitch before. You try to take an extra 90 feet, stay out of the double play. Osuna's speed was able to not allow the double play to happen, but you'd obviously love to see Zeke at second, or even if he would have been able to record the steal of third a little earlier, maybe over at third. I say steal of third, steal of second to get to third.
I'm going to steal second. I'm going to steal third. I might even steal home.
Oh, little big league.
Little big league, back-to-back days. Ken Griffey Jr. I don't think I quoted it verbatim, but you got that.
No, I think you did. Got to do what you got to do, Junior.
Lou Collins. Here's Evan Carter. Went 0 for 4 last night. Swing and a miss on the cutter. You know, the Rangers have done well against power pitches, against hard pitches, and they've really done well here of late. Their OPS against fastball, sinkers, cutters, the last 2 weeks has jumped nearly 100 points. Wow. Over that short a time. That's hard to do. And we've talked about against 95 plus, and yeah, 95 is kind of an arbitrary number, but against 95 miles an hour and harder, the Rangers have been one of the better hitting teams in baseball. Swing and a miss on the 1-2. That one at 98. So Carter, who had a rough go of it last night, strikes out for the second out in the second tonight.
May is just really long on that backside. I can see where, one, he might have some extension getting down that mound, but also just hiding the ball, being long on that backside, similar to, I guess, Jared Weaver jumps out as an example. And yes, he does. I mean, he is in the 77th percentile when it comes to extension, nearly 7 feet.
There's a lot to like about Dustin May. I mean, when he made his debut at 21 years old with the Dodgers, I mentioned this earlier, one of the top pitching prospects in baseball. Throwing a bowling ball sinker in the high 90s. You just didn't see a lot of that from a starting pitcher. Backs Higashioka off the plate.
I want to say the 2020 World Series that was at Globe Life between the Dodgers and the Rays. I went to 2 of those games, Game 2 and Game 6, and I think May have started. I think he came out of the bullpen. I saw him throw maybe twice in that series.
He made 3 starts during that postseason run, 7 appearances overall. And in that regular season, 10 starts, 2.57 ERA. It has battled some injuries. Higashioka in the air to center. Scott back pedals, and that ends the inning. Well, for the second straight inning, the Rangers get a leadoff base runner. For the second straight inning, Dustin May leaves him stranded.
Good news for this Rangers lineup. They should be getting reinforcement soon, as both Corey Seager and Wyatt Langford took big steps in their rehabilitation process today. They both appeared in a rehab game today in Frisco. Corey went 1 for 2 at the plate and played 3 innings of defense at shortstop. Wyatt Langford also went 1 for 2 at the plate, played a pretty impressive left field, also walked twice and stole a base. Skip Schumacher said they checked just about every box you could imagine, and both said they came out of it feeling good, so that's good news. They won't be here tomorrow, but it does sound like they're going to be back in the lineup here pretty soon.
You see the numbers, 1 for 2, both of those guys. Langford also recorded a few walks, just getting their legs under them, playing some innings, similar to what you'd see in spring training. I mean, can you imagine if both of those guys get back healthy and are able to perform at, say average what they've performed at throughout the course of their career, with the way that Jock is hitting, Josh Young, Brandon Nimmo, Zeke. I mean, now we're starting to talk about a Rangers lineup that we envisioned in the offseason coming out of spring training.
And I think not only that, Murph, but you think about the maneuvering that Skip Schumacher does in game with some of his players. It now adds to your depth and makes some of his options off the bench on a given day or night a little more of a threat, perhaps.
Yeah, deep for sure. But that's easily, a few of the conversations I've had with people thinking, all right, is there, a chance that the Rangers are going to make some noise at the trade deadline? I still feel like it's a little bit early for that, but my immediate answer is, well, you get Seager healthy, you get Langford healthy, and you get all these other guys just performing at what they're expected to perform, that level that they're expected to perform at. And now we're talking about a pretty impressive lineup. And then you pair it with a rotation that obviously right now is on fire. That's a stacked team.
Some of the guys hanging on the bench. Eovaldi issues a leadoff walk to Brian Torres. It's 28 straight scoreless innings from this rotation, the third longest streak in franchise history. Eovaldi is going to have to work around a leadoff walk to make it 29. And then coming to the plate, Mason Wynn, who accounted for the only Cardinals run in last night's game, a solo home run off of Peyton Gray, who is celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to Peyton. Line drive, base hit for Wynn. He got a cutter, and Carter bobbles it, but thankfully recovers quickly enough to keep Torres from going to third. That one caught a lot of the plate, and Wynn able to turn it around.
It looked like it was pretty much middle. Smacks it right back up the box. 104 on the exit velocity. Good job by Evan recovering there. You see the ball just sneak up on him real quick, hit him in the palm.
Mason Wynn giving the Cardinals their second hit of the ball game, and Kyle Higashioka giving some signals. Eovaldi, imagine, love to try and get a double play ball here with the struggling Nolan Gorman coming up. Gorman 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts last night. He's just 2 for his last 33 with 19 strikeouts during that stretch. Former high school player of the year in Arizona. Has shown flashes at times, hasn't really put it together consistently at the plate in his young career. But he gets ahead of Eovaldi 2-0. It seems like Nate having a tough time locking in the control and command. He said the Cardinals have struggled with runners in scoring position this year more than any team in baseball. Swing and a miss on the splitter.
That's an impressive pitch. I mean, we talked about how Nathan Eovaldi can throw the splitter in any count. And when behind in the count, gets a 32% whiff rate. That's 7th best among major league starters.
It's such an asset. Imagine some of those whiffs on chases too when you're behind in the count because of the deception he brings.
Part of me wonders, I wouldn't think a guy like Eovaldi would really mind, but part of me wonders if, the scoreless inning streak is even in the back of his mind at all, and he's maybe trying to be too perfect.
Can I ask you, do you think he knows?
No. I would say that he's heard about it for sure, but I don't know if that's something that you take out to the mound and you think about.
Big pitch here. Swing and a miss. Splitter gets Gorman. So Gorman's struggles continue. That pitch was a strike. That was about as perfect of a pitch as you can throw in that spot.
Yeah, he fought back and put himself in a good place. We've seen this once already. Weatherholt started off the game with a 3-0 count, Eovaldi battled back, got a fly out to left field. This was a 2-0 count, and what a great job of executing the split finger 2-0 and then getting the strikeout.
So here's Crooks, the Euless Trinity native who had a hit last night. Went 1 for 2 before he was lifted for a pinch hitter. His hit came against Jacob deGrom. deGrom picked up win 100 in his career last night. I thought it was cool after the game. He said, you know, maybe the coolest thing for him was just how excited his teammates were.
And the fact that he did it on his son's 3rd birthday.
On his son's 3rd birthday, that's right. Very appropriately named Nolan deGrom. There's Jacob. Talking things over with Jack Leiter and Justin Foscue. Crooks loops one to right field. That falls in front of Nimmo. The scoreless streak is going to end. Torres rounds 30, comes home and scores. The Cardinals get on the board first. Jimmy Crooks RBI single.
I believe it was a cutter. And when we're talking about execution, I mean, that's not a bad pitch. 90 miles an hour. I mean, that's significantly in off the plate, maybe by 4 or 5 inches. And Crooks finds a way to get the barrel to it. Maybe not necessarily the barrel, just floats it down the right field line. Nimmo was never going to have a play.
Second career RBI for Crooks. And here's Scott, who turns the bump and fouls it back. A very speedy Victor Scott. Went 1 for 2 last night, but is just 2 for his last 19. You know, they say speed never slumps. I don't know that that's always the case, but he is one of the speediest in baseball. Unfortunately, he's hitting below 200 and doesn't really draw a whole lot of walks either. Bunts this one here, though. A safety squeeze. Win doesn't go, and Eovaldi makes the play.
Great job by Nicky Lopez. I mean, I don't think the ball was bunted down the line enough to where Wynn could go. He's a guy with good speed, but Eovaldi fields his position well. And yeah, give credit to Nicky Lopez. The way he received that ball, was able to stay on the bag. Because even Evo, you consider, really turns the wrong way. You're supposed to turn in the counterclockwise just to give your arm some momentum.
That's one where, when we look at the replay, Murph, you know, it doesn't look like Wynn. You know, I think we're going to have a challenge. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. The pitch was called a ball, and the pitch is going to be overturned to a strike. The Rangers have done such a great job with the challenges here of late. Rangers catchers have been successful a little over 64% of the time, and that flips the count to 0-1 against Weatherholt. But because of what you said, the way it was turned, you got a righty on the first base side. I wonder if Wynn gets a good secondary and goes down the line with conviction if he's able to score. Instead, Lopez makes the play to first, and Wynn is left stranded. But the Cardinals do get a run. They take advantage of a leadoff walk, a Jimmy Crooks single, and St. Louis is ahead 1-0 through 2.
Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. Nicky Lopez coming to the plate. Last inning defensively, he was great. This is what he's done so far with Texas. Six starts at second base, 25 total fielding chances. He had 9 chances last night total. You see him getting from his position over to first, handling a difficult throw, and then slow roller here, coming through it, putting the throw on the money.
That's what you expect out of Nicky Lopez, to make plays for you in the field, but last night was a stellar effort. But he's doing it at the plate. Multiple hits in 3 straight games. Hasn't done that since 2022. And he's tied with Andrew Vaughn for the longest multi-hit streak in Major League Baseball right now, at least among active streaks. And doing it from the bottom of the order, so helping to extend the lineup for Skip Schumacher. Swing and a miss, and May using the sweeper to pick up his 5th strikeout.
All right, well, May's had his A stuff the first time through the lineup. Rangers have all seen him once now. Let's see if they can get to him the second time around.
First time through, May gave up the ground ball double to Peterson and a walk. But a lot of swing and miss. His season high in strikeouts is 9. That was in his last start against the Brewers. Prior to that, he had only gotten more than 5 strikeouts twice, but he's already at 5 tonight. Jock 1 for 1 with a double. And he takes a fastball for strike 1. Jock's reached base now in 13 of his last 14 games. Chops one. Weatherholt's got it. They got 2 outs. So May 1 out away from executing a shutdown inning. He's doing it efficiently as well. Just 36 pitches through 10 batters tonight. Josh Young, he struck out in the first. And a sinker that sneaks over the outside corner for a strike.
The changeup to Peterson was just the second one that he's thrown all night, but just pounding the strike zone with all his pitches. Fastball, sinker, cutter, curve, sweeper, changeup. That's a ton to cover.
Goes to the sweeper there and drops that one into the knees. Trying to complete a 1-2-3 inning for the first time tonight. And he does. Young goes way upstairs for that fastball. May with 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. And he takes a 1-0 Cardinals lead to the home half of the 3rd.
I mean, you got to get this bobblehead, right? Come get the Brandon Nimmo bull riding bobblehead presented by Toyota. It's Sunday, June 7th, when the Guardians play the Rangers. It'll go to the first 10,000 fans. Get your tickets at Rangers.com to get the Brandon Nimmo bull riding bobblehead.
Now, when you press down on it, does it buck like a bull? And you got to see, like, each time how long he stays on?
That's a good. We got to get one, right, so that we can get a feel for what it does and get a physical advertisement up here in the booth.
I wonder what his bull riding record is. Herrera falls behind 0-2. That's something we should do. I was talking to Batsick about this on Sunday. That should be our next Rangers game day challenge.
Bull riding?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Or maybe a mechanical bull.
Mechanical bull. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't need to mess with the real bull.
I don't either.
Herrera smacks one foul.
I already have stitches in my forehead.
Yeah, that was just from a cat. Who knows what a bull would do to you? Evo pressing the computer box. And apparently he's having some technical difficulties. So while they sort that out, let's check in with our bull riding expert, Laura Stickles.
Well, yeah, guys, I was actually going to tell you that Brandon Nimmo's bull riding record is 0% because the one time that he was put on a calf as a kid, he used to want to be a bull rider. He fell off and decided that he never wanted to do it again. So his parents decided to do that, I think when he was around 7 years old, to teach him a lesson and let him know that bull riding probably wasn't going to be for him.
All right.
I told you she was our bull riding expert.
I feel like
I mean, I'm a champion mutton buster. I will let you know. I did the mutton busting when I was growing up.
But don't they say it's not how it goes the first time, it's how you react when you get knocked down?
Yeah, and Nimmo reacted by saying he was done.
All right, we're going to have to talk to him about that.
I reacted by getting, I think I'm mutton busted a couple times.
Mutton bust.
Not really sure what all this means.
Yeah, let's. Can we?
But I'm glad you're a champion.
Can we explain here?
It
Mutton
sounds
busted?
impressive.
Okay, I guess you're right. There's probably a lot of people that have no idea what I'm talking about. Mutton busting is for young kids. I think you have to probably be like 7 or under, and you ride sheep. And the kid that stays on the sheep the longest is the winner.
Okay.
It happens at a lot of rodeos and fairs and stuff like that.
And what ages did you do this?
I think the year I aged out was about, I want to say 2nd grade.
Okay.
So or maybe 3rd grade. So, 2nd, 3rd grade.
Well, that's awesome. This has been great while we can't get technology to work in 2026. Seems like there's some smiles. Yeah, Laura, I would like to find a VHS tape of you riding the sheep or the mutton.
I'll talk to my parents. My brother also competed with me, and I remember the time that I won. He felt like my sheep didn't buck hard enough. So there, maybe is some debate as to whether or not I should have won.
Older brother or younger brother?
Younger.
Okay.
But he was bigger than me, just for the record.
All right, how about that? Well, looks like we're ready to go. Thankfully, the pitch comm isn't totally busted. Evaldi got ahead of Ivan Herrera 0-2. After a lengthy delay, Herrera shoots one through the left side. So the Cardinals have had a base runner in every inning. And Herrera gets an 0-2 single.
Another leadoff man, 2nd and 3rd inning. Leadoff walk scored in the 2nd. What a double play ball.
That works for me. Now with Burleson coming up. You mentioned the Rangers going to buy or sell. It's maybe a shock to some. The Rangers 2 games under 500 in 2nd place in the AL West, but they're tied for a playoff spot. They could go to sleep in sole possession of a playoff spot. And on the flip side, the Cardinals at 31-27, 5.5 back of their division. And the NL Central known for its kerfuffles over the years, but they're having a 5-way fight in the standings. All 5 teams over 500, led by the Brewers, with the Reds at 30-29 bringing up the rear. Burleson, one of the vets on this young team. This is the youngest lineup in all of baseball. Burleson pops one up. He got jammed on it. Cutter in on his hands, and Duran puts it away for the first down. There's Jordan Walker. He's had a tough series, 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, including a strikeout in the first.
They showed his spray chart of home runs on the scoreboard during his last at bat, and he's hit 4 of them to the opposite field. I think something's a little bit off with his swing, because Rangers pitchers have just been pounding him away, and he hasn't really stayed on those pitches. There's another off-speed pitch on the outside part of the strike zone. I don't even know if they've really showed him in.
Usually, I don't want to say it applies this way for everyone, but longer levered guys, you like to go in, right? It's tougher for them to get to the inside pitch.
But then once again, like you talked about his bat speed, right? So that's the difficult thing. Yes, that is generally a key, but when you have quick bat speed like Walker does, you can pull the hands in and really get to anything. Evaldi just doing another good job. That strike 2 pitch, just pounding that fastball away.
And the driver's seat against Walker. He lays off the splitter. Eovaldi has had a decision in all 11 of his starts. That means in every one of his starts, he's either gotten a win or a loss. He's 5-6 overall this year. The last Ranger to start a season getting at least a decision in 11 straight starts, Giovanni Gallardo in 2015. 2-2, strike 3 called. Walker has now struck out in 6 straight plate appearances. And Eovaldi gets his 3rd strikeout. It's the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, there's the pitch in. It didn't look like it was by design. It leaked back over the plate. Walker, I guess the term that comes to mind is in between. He is out front of the breaking ball, and he is behind on the heater. Something's wrong with his timing. And the Rangers just need to continue to exploit whatever is going on, because he is in a bad way.
Here's Torres. He walked his first time up. Scored a run on the Jimmy Crooks single. One. Curveball down the line. It's a foul ball. Torres bidding for extra bases. Torres from Puerto Rico made his major league debut earlier this year. He's bounced around in his baseball life, including a stint with the Milwaukee Milkmen of the Independent American Association. He played so well his first year, they invited him back his next year. And it was from the Milwaukee Milkmen that the Cardinals acquired him. They signed him to a minor league deal in 2023. 2-2, tipped and held onto by Higgy. The slider finishes him off. Eovaldi with back-to-back strikeouts, and he puts up a donut, working around a leadoff single. Cardinals on top by a run through 3.
Rangers Baseball on RSN is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers. And by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas.
Oh, there he is. What a good-looking fella that guy was back in the day.
I don't recognize him anymore.
David Murphy. I don't recognize your teammate who's a booth to the right of us, Benji Molina.
Yeah, Benji, yeah, he's in great shape. What a good man.
He does radio on the Spanish side for the Cardinals. You think he could leg out a triple? There's Benji.
Absolutely he could. He would probably have to hit it to the Bermuda Triangle in Boston, but
one of the most memorable cycles in baseball history, maybe? I mean, that
right about when the game started, I don't know exactly what he was pointing out to the field, trying to tell me, but he did the deer and the antlers. Like whatever, deer antlers, what we used to do in 2010.
0-2 to Nimmo, and May just misses. The Crooks wants to have a second look at that. And Crooks had a good thought to challenge that. So May with his 7th strikeout. That's already tied for the second most in an outing for May this year.
And what is that? Is that 5 on the fastball? I mean, usually you see a guy rack up strikeouts with a wicked off-speed pitch, something like that. But, man, he's getting swings and misses like crazy. This fastball's jumping out of his hand.
Here's Berger. Berger struck out on the fastball to end the first. The Rangers had a runner at third and nobody out in the first inning, and May set the tone for what we've seen so far, going strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. And left Jock Peterson stranded at third. And despite the strikeout count, his pitch count is incredibly efficient. And he gets ahead of Berger 0-2.
He hasn't really been wasting pitches. You see just that second inning. He was above 12, but everything else has been below, at or below.
And when he's throwing it out of the zone, the Rangers are swinging a decent amount. They're chasing about 45% of May's pitches. See what he comes back with here, ahead 0-2. He goes fastball. Nice play by Wynn. He takes a hit away from Berger for the second out of the inning.
Well, Wynn about as good as it gets at shortstop. I mean, you watch him just pounce on this. It's all about that first step quickness. He goes into that abbreviated dive, and you talked about his arm strength last night. Just shows a great arm across the diamond.
Gold Glover last year, making a Gold Glove caliber play with the gold around his neck. There's Zeke. Well, the guys that we've talked about the most here recently are the two guys who've gone on base for the Rangers. Jock Peterson with a first inning double and Zeke Duran with a second inning walk. And again, May gets ahead 0-2.
It's like all of these hitters are waking up in 0-2 counts.
And May with 4 strikeouts on 3 pitches here tonight. And he's got a chance to do that to Zeke. And he does. Fastball paints the corner. 8 strikeouts for Dustin May through 4 innings. 6 of his 8 strikeouts ending with a heater. He's kept the Rangers off the board. It's been a strong start for Dustin from Justin. Let's take a look at that aforementioned Benji Molina cycle from July 16, 2010.
It's just like balls are evading people's gloves everywhere. Did it on the double. Well, how about the triple? There is the Bermuda Triangle in Boston. I believe that's Eric Patterson. Couldn't come up with that. And Benji, oh man.
Well, first pitch, line drive, Lopez snags the ball off of Wynn's bat. There's Benji. He started the season with the Giants. He was still relatively new to the Rangers at that point. Went 4 for 4 and then was lifted for a pinch runner. Joaquin Arias came in to give him a breather after the triple.
I think he had some quad tightness actually from the triple.
Oh, really?
I don't remember what it looked like in the days after, if he may have gotten a day off or not. But the other story I always tell as part of that cycle, so that was 2010, right? Well, who was playing third base for the Red Sox at the time?
Adrian Beltre.
Adrian Beltre. And I remember him looking into our dugout, and there was just a joyful look on his face as he saw how much fun we were having, because we were cracking up. We were loving the fact that Benji just got a cycle. And so part of me thinks that that was a moment where Beltre is thinking.
Well, there's Gorman, takes it deep to left. Oh, that's a way to break out of a slump. Nolan Gorman with an opposite field solo home run to give the Cardinals a 2-0 lead.
Gorman is a big, strong guy, and this not necessarily known as a park where the ball flies really well. He opens up that front side, gets the barrel there, and pops it out to the opposite field. Yeah, but just to finish it, I feel like Beltre really got a feel for what our guys, what our clubhouse was like in that moment, and that made the Texas Rangers attractive to him. So I don't know if that was a reason why he may have signed here.
Ground ball to Duran. Yeah, you think that might have helped? The Benji Molina cycle paid some dividends a few months later.
Definitely couldn't hurt.
Valdi hasn't thrown a lot of pitches this inning. Unfortunately, one of those pitches went over the wall and left. So the Cardinals have had a really tough time scoring runs recently. They've put up 2. And they're doing it against one of the best pitchers in the game. There's Victor Scott. He tried to execute a safety squeeze his last time up, but the bunt wasn't strong enough. Line drive past Lopez into right center. Scott with hits in both games this series.
Well, that's the spot that Rangers pitchers have beaten Scott on that inner half. That may be a little down from some of the fastballs that he saw from Jacob deGrom last night. He finally is on time and catches the ball out front.
Weatherhold 0 for 2. Jonathan David Weatherhold. His grandma used to call him John John. And John gets a CNI single. It sends Scott to third. 2-out action for the Cardinals.
The Cardinals seem to be seeing that curveball. Or maybe mislocation. This one ends up on the inner part of the strike zone. And that's actually the curveball has performed even better than the split finger. At least if we're talking about batting average against. 165 batting average against on the splitty, 143 on the curveball coming into tonight.
So here's Herrera. He's got a single tonight. While we await for this matchup, let's pause for a message from Jack in the Box.
Get fired up with my new Hot Ones Munchie Meal with a Sriracha Curly Fry Burger or Buffalo Chicken Tater Melt.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Valdi trying to get out of this inning, allowing just the run on the Gorman homer. Herrera, unique stance. We were talking a couple weeks ago. There aren't a lot of guys on the Rangers team that have a unique, mimicable stance. But Herrera's got one for the Cardinals, that wide open disposition up on the front toe. Bat pointing straight to the sky.
Who would you say, like, who would jump out at you as one that you would want to imitate?
It's a great question. Ground ball right side. Lopez makes the play. Maybe this guy, maybe Benji Molina can imitate his trek around the bases. He's in the building. Hopefully he gives the Rangers some cycle power. They need it, trailing by 2. Sixth inning presented by your DFW Audi dealers. Hey, there's some more water. It's a river. Maybe it's the mighty Mississippi. Making progress one day at a time.
Attaboy.
I think rivers are kind of overrated. I'm more of a lake or an ocean guy myself. Here's Alejandro Osuna. You're asking me, Murph, who I would imitate. I guess Osuna's got a little bit of a unique look. I think Josh Young and Corey Seager's pre-pitch mannerisms you could imitate.
Seager, that would be a fun one.
Osuna in the air to right center. Walker was playing him perfectly.
Well, Seager's kind of twitchy the way that he gets in the box.
He kind of twitches his hips a little bit, locks in a position.
Zeke's kind of a fun one too. He kind of has like the he kind of opens up his upper body a little bit and then brings it
swivel
back, or opens up his head.
Opens up his head. That sounds dangerous.
Toward the third base side.
Oh, okay. Here's Evan Carter. Rangers trying to get anything against Dustin May, who's got 8 strikeouts. He's thrown strike 1 almost automatically.
What
15 batters, 12 first pitch strikes, Murph.
TXU Energy power stats for tonight. 8 strikeouts for tonight. Last 3 starts, 24 strikeouts, 3 walks. He is really pitching phenomenally well. The recent month or so, his last few starts, he's been really good. What's been impressive tonight is just the way that he's pitched with the fastball. I think it's a pitch that he's used about 25% of the time for the season, at least his 4-seamer. Throws his sinker a little over 17% of the time, but that was close. I mean, all of his pitches, he's located in the strike zone. At the 60 pitch mark, he had thrown 50 pitches, or excuse me, at the 50 pitch mark, he had thrown 40 strikes.
I guess maybe you can throw too many strikes, but not the way he's pitching. Carter lays off the sweeper. How about this one? Through 4 innings, 50% of Rangers hitters found themselves in an 0-2 count. That's the highest rate for any pitcher through 4 innings in a game this year. And that doesn't even eliminate at bats that didn't even go to a third pitch. You know, if you take away the 2 pitch outs and the 1 pitch outs, that 50% rate's even higher. And now he's pitching with a 2-run lead after Gorman's homer in the 4th. Two. Carter giving himself a chance. A little collision and Carter reaches. Even if Weatherholt and Wynn didn't collide, I think Carter's going to get on board with an infield single with his speed. So the Rangers with their first hit since Shock Peterson's double to begin the game.
Yeah, look at where the shortstop and the second baseman are placed. The ball's hit exactly between them. You got a guy in Carter with really good speed. So I agree with you. It doesn't matter if there was a throw or not. Evan Carter's going to beat that out.
Well, that brings Kyle Higashioka to the plate. Flied out to center his first time up. Didn't play yesterday. Went 2 for 4 on Sunday. And May misses inside. Crooks in his career has only thrown out 1 of 10 potential base stealers. May on his end actually been pretty good at controlling the running game. Almost hit Siggy. He's missed inside a couple of times. And Higgy getting ahead 2-0. May hasn't pitched from the stretch a whole lot tonight. It seems like it's gotten him out of whack. Sweeper grabs the corner. Runner goes, and Higgy fouls it off. Evan Carter always a threat to go. 9 for 9 in his stolen base attempts this season. Higgy, right center, down for a hit. Walker cuts it off. That's going to keep Higgy to a single, but Carter races to third. So the Rangers with their best chance of the night. Back-to-back base hits off of Dustin May, and Texas has men at the corners.
It's amazing when a guy is rolling and just pitching out of the windup. Once you get him into the stretch, just the little difference that it can make. You talk about location. May was just peppering the strike zone and hasn't been quite as efficient here the last few hitters.
There's Lopez. Fouls the first pitch back. Lopez struck out swinging his first time up. Great chance for Texas. Right after Gorman's homer in the bottom of the fourth, the Rangers in prime position to strike right back. Lopez on the ground. May is going to try turn 2, but it's not going to happen. A run comes home. Carter scores. I think if May would have waited a beat, he had Carter. Caught him between third and home, and then his throw to second wasn't a good one.
Yeah, I think he wanted the double play ball, and had he stopped and got his feet underneath him, I think he would have made a good throw, and Wynn has enough arm strength where they could have turned that, but he tried to throw it on the run. The feed was high. I think that allowed the extra split second to where Lopez was able to beat it out.
Here's Peterson.
Here's the conversation. Pitchers aren't athletes. Throwing on the run.
Counts 1-0 to Jock. That one smacked down the line, a base hit. Head into the corner. Walker plays it off the wall. Lopez getting the wave home. Wynn's throw is late. Peterson with a game-tying double, and just like that, we're even. Lopez getting high fives in the dugout, and Jock Peterson with his second double of the game.
This ball is smashed down the line. Unfortunately, the Rangers have speed on first. Good efficient turns around the bases. Jordan Walker has a really good arm, but really didn't get his best throw off. You see Jock scooting into second base, and just like that, May is cruising. The Rangers put up a 2-spot.
Dusty Blake, the pitching coach, going to go out to the mound. Jock Peterson, how about this, Murph? He's got 20 RBIs this year. 9 of those 20 RBIs have come in his last 8 games. He was getting on base. There was nobody on base for him for the back half of April and a lot of May. Now, Rangers getting some good production from the bottom of the order, and Jock's cashing in.
How about our Chevy under the hood? With 2 outs. That's what the Rangers have done here during this 4-game win streak. 13 runs to 5 from the opponent, 326 batting average, OPS over 1,000.
Here's Josh Young. Josh went 0 for 4 yesterday. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts tonight. Last strikeout came on a fastball way above the zone. And one of the things Josh has done such a good job of this year, though, is just kind of locking back in when He has an out of character at bat. Chance to give the Rangers a lead with a base knock. That one in the air to left. Torres coming on, he slides and he holds on. Sinking liner almost gave the Rangers a chance to take a lead, but Torres comes up with it. The Rangers even things up. 3 hits, including Jock Peterson's game-tying double. We're tied at 2, heading to the bottom of the 5th.
Well, the Rangers will fly home tomorrow night after Game 3 of this series. They'll have an off day on Thursday, and then the Guardians come to town. Rangers will meet them at Globe Life Field starting on Friday, June 5th. Series goes through June 7th. Plenty of tickets available. Get them at Rangers.com.
I talked about this with Batsick the other day. The Guardians, they're always in it, right? But they're not getting the typical Jose Ramirez here, but you know he's going to probably end up getting his normal numbers. They are leading the AL Central. 34-27 record. The St. Louis Cardinals in second in the NL Central. Alec Burleson leading off the bottom of the 5th. Nathan Eovaldi got a couple of runs of support in the top of the 5th. Tied back up. See how Evo responds now that he's back level. Cardinals got a run in the 2nd on a Jimmy Crooks RBI single, and Nolan Gorman home run in the 4th. We got the college baseball playoffs, the regional now getting ready for the super regionals. And you see some two-way players, certainly more in college than you do at the professional levels. Alec Burleson was a two-way player at East Carolina.
I saw him yesterday. The Cardinals have done some interesting things, like with their pregame work. They work a lot on their defense. Yesterday, they had 2 machines positioned at home plate, and they were shooting baseballs to both sides of the field. And man, everything was coming out hot to these infielders. And then a little bit later, something that you don't typically see out of a left-handed first baseman, but Burleson was over, like, probably in the 6th hole, as you see him go down with a strikeout. And he was taking ground balls in the 6th hole or over toward third base, throwing balls to first. I don't know exactly what the Cardinals are thinking of there. I mean, just working on throws and accuracy and overall athleticism. I thought it at least caught my eye, right? But just the infield work they were doing, and you could tell that they were having fun with it too. I mean, the machines must have been turned up as much as they possibly could have been, the way the ball was coming out.
Walker 0 for 6 this series with 6 strikeouts. No, Burleson was an outfielder. He bounced around a little bit, but now pretty much exclusively at first base. Eovaldi trying to hang the touchdown and the extra point against Walker in terms of strikeouts this series. It's been a wackadoodle type series for Walker when you consider how good he's been this year. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7 for Walker this series. And for Eovaldi, his 6th strikeout tonight.
I know something like this has had to have happened in baseball before. I don't know if I've actually seen it, but you're talking about 7 for 7 in strikeout tries, or obviously from Jordan Walker's perspective, that's an 0 for 7. Ooh, it's a tough 2 days.
Here's Torres. Different people have different definitions for a shutdown inning. To me, when you score runs to tie a game, it puts your pitcher in a position for the shutdown inning. And so Eovaldi, an out away from a shutdown inning here. Some people subscribe to the Mississippian River method, where it's only a shutdown inning if you take the lead in the previous half inning. I'm more of an Amazonian guy myself.
I think I think any time runs are scored and the pitcher.
So I don't think it's a shutdown inning if you're down 5-0 and you score 2 runs.
That makes sense.
I think it's got to be to take a lead or to tie it. Swing and a miss. Eovaldi strikes out the side in order. Tic-tac-toe. Burleson, Walker, Torres. What a job by Evo bouncing back.
Yeah, splitty right there to Burleson. Then he goes and gets Walker with the curveball. And he finishes up Torres on the cutter. 3 strikeouts, 3 different pitches. Rangers try to take the lead here in the 6th.
Lou Gehrig Day across Major League Baseball, the 6th annual Lou Gehrig Day, recognizing his strength and perseverance. Major League Baseball doing their part to raise awareness and support to try and find a cure for ALS. An incredibly meaningful day around Major League Baseball, and ALS is a cause, unfortunately, that has impacted the lives of so many. As Nimmo fouls one away. You know, some people do some great work around the league to help lift up Lou Gehrig Day, and there's Sarah Langs for ESPN, who's in her own battle with ALS, who has used her platform to make such a great difference. Just hearing the speech, we got a clip of it in the pregame. It still gives you chills. And to have the courage to go up in front of all those people and offer the words that Lou Gehrig did, a 2-minute message that people still talk about to this day. Now, I didn't know this, Murph. Lou Gehrig went to Columbia on an academic scholarship.
I think I heard that before. That's really impressive. And yeah, you talking about the speech. I mean, you know, you think about just audible moments in the history of Major League Baseball. I mean, what can you remember that stands out more than that? It's one of the better ones.
Swing and a miss. May with a sweeper, a season high tie and 9th strikeout. No lollygagging from Dustin May tonight. And the strikeout begins the top of the 6th. I mean, I think of movie scenes, to be honest, when you ask that question. There's the strikeout. I'm trying to think of like real life actual moments.
You could probably think of some managers speaking up here or there. But I think what you said just nailed it perfectly. Like, totally gives you chills every time you hear it, right?
And Corey Seager World Series parade, I guess we'll never know. That's a pretty good one, but that doesn't compare at all, obviously. The profound nature of Gehrig's words. Berger hitless this series. Went 0 for 4 yesterday, 0 for 2 tonight. You know, back in his hometown, he'd love to change the score with one swing right here. A sweeper for May, and counts 1 and 2. You think of May, you think of that sinker, the power stuff, but that sweeper has been a really impressive pitch for him tonight. Unable to rein that one in there, and the count's 2 and 2. Well, last year he threw a sweeper more than any other pitch. This year he throws his 4-seamer and his cutter more, but opposing hitters barely hitting 200 against the sweeper and not really doing a whole lot of damage against it. Counts full.
And there seems to be a noticeable jump in velocity also. I know that he was recovering from, you know, injury in 2024, and so that may be why the fastball was averaging about 95.5, but 97 this year, and he's touched 99 a few times, which is impressive because the fact that I think he's touched 99 15 times throughout the course of this season, or at least with his four-seamer. And he's touched it 5 times with his sinker. So he is starting to feel pretty good as these hot summer months roll around.
Berger fouls off 98. And you just saw on the screen a second ago, a 17-mile-an-hour split, hardest to softest from May, with that sweeper right in the middle. He's thrown his sweeper 23 times. Most he's thrown it in an outing this year. And he goes to it there, but loses it, and Berger draws a walk. So the Rangers get a 1-out base runner in this tie ball game, and now it's time for a message from Pizza Hut.
Texas fans know who the real MVP is of game day grub, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Here's Ezekiel Duran, RBIs in 4 straight games. May starts him off with ball 1. You know why May wears the number 3?
I don't.
So he wore the number 85, but 85's retired here in honor of former owner Augustus Busch. So he just did 8-5.
Okay.
I mean, you don't see many single-digit pitchers. Well, the Rangers have one going tomorrow with Mackenzie Gore. He wears the number 1, but you see the retired 85. We're playing in the house that Busch funded.
Did you see the graphic by any chance? How, if you look at the back of his jersey, it's May and then number 3, but he got the start on May 3rd.
Yeah. And he had a good month of May. Swing and a miss, cutter up and in. And on May 3rd, he faced the Dodgers, his former team. Allowed 3 runs over 6 innings. Chopper. Gorman plays the short hop, only throw to first. Duran retired, but the Rangers do get a man in a scoring position.
As Gorman showing off how some of that early work that I was talking about is paying off when it speeds up during game action. So that's what throwing on the run looks like. May needs to take some notes.
Here's Osuna, had an RBI a couple games ago. Base it to the outfield would give him another. Rangers trying to do something that they have not done as often as you'd think. 22 times Eovaldi and DeGrom have pitched back-to-back in either order. They've only won both of those games 5 times.
And you and I were talking about that before the game today. That really blew my mind. In the way that you asked it, I knew that it was going to be way less than I would have guessed. So maybe I would have guessed, say, like 12 to begin with. But I think the way you asked the question, what did I say, 9? So I was surprised to hear that it was 5.
And it's not necessarily their fault, right? There have been times both those guys have delivered gems and the run support just wasn't there, but they got a chance to do it with this couplet of games after DeGrom helped lead the Rangers to a win last night. And Eovaldi maybe hasn't been at his very best, but he's competed so well and he's allowed just 2 runs. And speaking of competing, the Rangers hitters have started to compete well the last inning and 2/3, and now Jojo Romero's in the bullpen after May was straight cruising through 4. (3-1) on the ground towards the middle, base hit. Berger rounds third. He comes home. Alejandro Osuna gives the Rangers a 3-2 lead. And that is going to be an abrupt end to Dustin May's night. 8 strikeouts through 4 shutout innings. And then the Rangers got to him with a couple in the 5th And 1 in the 6th to take a lead, and Ollie Marmol's going to go to his pen. So Dustin May out, JoJo Romero in. Rangers with a lead on an Alejandro Osuna RBI single.
Well, Osuna just busts this one open. Rangers take a 3-2 lead in the top of the 6th. Sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, it's where. It looks like it's a cutter that's middle, and once again splits the middle infielders. That is a big swing. We were talking at home just about how Justin Veely, Rangers hitting coach, was saying we need more soft contact and just finding holes. That is the definition right there. As JoJo Romero, the lefty, comes on. 27 games for him this season now. 2.7 ERA.
Carter shows bunt. In terms of the quality of contact, only the Dodgers have a higher average exit velocity than the Rangers this year, so maybe they do need to flip the script a bit.
I think Dave and I talked about that at home. Like when you're squaring up baseballs, I mean, most likely you're hitting it to where the defense is standing, right? But when you're using a lower exit velocity, it's the time that you find some holes.
I will still take the higher exit velocity. Push comes to shove, but on a CNI single like that, no complaints. No, Carter showed bunt there on the 1-1 pair, or the 0-1 pitch, I should say. I know it's something that we've seen from him occasionally against lefties. And Romero strikes him out on the sinker. Oh, the Cardinals bring in Romero to end the inning, but not before Alejandro Osuna's RBI single. The Rangers have taken a lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
There were a lot of things Nathan Eovaldi was disappointed in after his last start. He did give up 3 runs in the first inning, but what he was happy with was that he was still able to give the team 7 innings. He's now pitched 7 or more innings in each of his last 5 starts. That's tied with Christopher Sanchez for the longest active streak in baseball. Skip Schumacher said today, Evo is not one of those 5 and dive guys. He really takes pride in only asking the bullpen to go a couple innings, and every team needs an innings eater. Evo has definitely provided that. Tonight he's thrown at 76 pitches through 5 innings, so he might not get through 7 tonight, but he has definitely hung in there and given the Rangers a chance to come back.
Well, I wouldn't put it past him that he could get out of this inning in, say, 12 pitches or so. Now, the tricky part is, you know, even though the pitch count will be in a place where he could come back out for the 7th, he will be facing, assuming that he goes 3 up, 3 down, he'll go 9-hole and then come back around to where these Cardinals hitters would be seeing him for the 4th time. So it could be unlikely for him to get through 7, but yeah, you never put anything past big game Nate.
I also wouldn't be surprised if he had a conversation with Skip Schumacher and said, nah, I want the ball. I'm good. If he can get through this inning efficiently. Well, I've talked to him about this. You know, he's aware of his pitch count, right? And he knows in this spot, you know, he wants to get to a certain number. He feels like he can make an argument at a certain number. And I wonder if that changes how he goes about attacking hitters in combination with the scouting report, of course, here in this situation.
Well, there's the numbers. Obviously, the 3rd time through the order, that's when he's at his best. I mean, 4th time through the order for any pitcher is uncharted territory.
He hasn't given up a hit 4th time through this year. 0 for 2 opposing hitters. That just kind of speaks to the lack of base runners, all right? For him to give you innings, 5 straight starts, 7 innings, and not have to face guys 4th time through, I mean, that's impressive. That one shot through the right side, a base hit for Wynn. Multi-hit game for the Cardinals shortstop.
The Cardinals just kind of doing what they do. They're really a singles type of team. Gorman did homer for them in the 4th inning, but other than that, it has been all singles.
Here's Gorman. Ground ball. Pass Berger, but Lopez is there. Good job by Eovaldi covering. Well, off the bat, you're thinking two, but that one was placed well enough by Gorman just beyond the reach of Berger, and the Rangers get it out.
Good diving effort for sure. He shuffles off, a few steps in a dive. But Evo is there to cover.
So here's Crooks. He had an RBI single in the second. That broke the Rangers' starting pitcher's scoreless streak. 28 innings, third longest in club history. And Eovaldi starts him off with a curveball. Gets ahead of Crooks. Ground ball right side. Lopez probably been bored tonight after all those chances last night. 9 chances overall for Lopez. Back-to-back chances here in the 6th, and now Eovaldi 1 out away from executing a shutdown inning. And maybe a pitch or 2 away from doing it efficiently enough to justify the 7th inning. He's made a habit of going 7 innings. It'd be a little cattywampus if he didn't. And Scott, first pitch swinging. Lopez in time, shutdown inning, efficient inning for Nathan Eovaldi. Works around the leadoff single, and he sends the Rangers back to the plate, up by a run. Looking through the gateway to the west, beautiful night. Even prettier on the scoreboard with the Rangers leading 3-2 through 6 innings. Texas trying to set a new season high with a 5th straight win. And if they do it tonight, it would be a come-from-behind win after the Rangers were trailing 2-0. Dustin May was cruising, and then the Rangers flipped the script. 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and now here in the 7th. Rangers trying to add some support with JoJo Romero still on the hill. Kyle Higashioka scored after his single in the 5th inning. He was brought in on Jock Peterson's double. Higgy tied it, and then in the 6th, Alejandro Zuna's single scored Jake Berger. And the Rangers tying run and go-ahead run, Murph. They came with 2 outs. Some more 2-out offense for Texas.
Yeah, it's definitely the theme of the story lately, using every last out of every inning. And those types of performances, they will put you on win streaks. And what have we talked about so frequently over the last month or so, I guess for the entire season? If you hear Skip Schumacher, do a post-game press conference interview, so often they talk about, well, we didn't get the big hit tonight. Well, a lot of times, when does the big hit happen? With 2 outs.
No, you don't always have to wait for 2 outs, but you're going to get there at some point in the inning unless the game just ends. Let's see what the Rangers can do with nobody out. Hey, I was mistaken. I said Higgy scored that run. He singled, but then was erased on the fielder's choice. It was Lopez who ended up scoring the game tying run. Higgy making Romero work. Higgy now 3 for his last 6. I talked to Justin Vealey about Higgy. He said it just seems like he's really about to get things going. Went on that great run in the second half last year. 10 home runs once the calendar turned to July. Out of the Higgy-Jansen combo. You don't necessarily expect a high batting average, but some extra base hit slug, and then out of Jansen, good on base. Higgy drives this one to left. Torres has to play it off the wall. Higgy up to second with a leadoff double. Well, maybe Higgy is really starting to turn things on. Couple hits for the Rangers catcher tonight.
Great way to lead off the inning. Gets out in front of an off-speed pitch. A good bat pat that's in the zone for a long time. Able to snap those hands out front. And you think in a left-on-left situation that Nicky Lopez will probably be bunting here.
Let me ask you, though, with Jock Peterson left on deck, does that change your mind?
It doesn't.
Okay, and Lopez drops down the bunt. Gorman to first. Mike Bassick talked about this the other day. You're trying to advance a runner to third. You bunt it to third. Lopez did a great job there.
Talk about a guy who knows who he is in Nicky Lopez. You got to be able to do the little things well to succeed up here in the major leagues, and this is something that has to be done, not only to be able to bunt, but to be able to put that bunt right where you want it.
That's a great job. Up and into Peterson. Did it hit him? I think it did. Yep. Home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez is giving Peterson first base. And that's a major lost opportunity for Romero. Not that he was trying to do that, obviously, but you feel like if you want to get out of this inning unscathed, that lefty-lefty matchup could be a little bit of an advantage for you.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are going to challenge this, though, because Peterson did rotate into it, although he was trying to get out of the way. So we'll see what they say. I think there was enough avoidance of the situation as we get a closer look.
Well, Jock reacted right away. I could understand selling it after the fact. I gotta believe he was clipped. And with the challenge, I don't know why else Skip Schumacher and Matt Lacer would come out. They're not trying to add a dramatic effect. Let's see if we see any change of direction or anything. Did it nick the red batting glove? The palm?
It's hard to say. Like, I'm not sure I can tell for sure. From the sound of it, I was almost certain that he got hit. And that's why I was thinking that they wanted to see if he swung. But I guess maybe they're just checking to see if the ball hit him, period.
Like, if you don't have replay, I get selling it. I mean, he sold it. I shouldn't say sold it. He reacted instantly,
100%.
Right? And there's no reason to dramatize it once you know they're challenging. But there definitely wasn't obvious from the slow-mo look. We got a great look. But even where Jock's looking, right, he's looking at his hand.
The batter was hit by pitch. St. Louis loses their count.
Wow, and that wasn't a Stansmurf. That was a confirmed by Tom Hanahan. So, Jock at first. He's reached 3 times tonight. Higgy at third, and Ollie Marmol is going to make a move to the pen with Josh Young coming up. A golden opportunity for the Rangers. Men at the corners, trying to add some insurance up 3-2. New man coming to the mound when we return from Busch Stadium. Josh Young up, men of the corners, 1 out. Great opportunity for Texas to add some insurance, and the Cardinals are going to Gordon Graceffo.
Graceffo has a nice looking ERA and has done a good job not allowing inherited runners to score. I mean, the numbers look good, but he's not a big strikeout guy. And as you mentioned, not a big ground ball guy.
Kind of average-ish when it comes to getting the ball on the ground.
Not incredible velocity. I mean, he does throw 96. By today's standards, that's not a blazing hot fastball.
Young fouls one away. Josh 0 for 3 tonight. Lined out to left his last time. Started the day second in the American League in batting average behind Yandy Diaz. Doesn't need a hit to score a run here, though. One and two. Righty's hitting just 193 against Graceffo. '26-year-old with a 5-pitch mix out of the pen. Do you like facing guys with that over-the-top release point? Did not matter to you?
I can't remember a ton of them that I actually faced. Josh Colementor was one of them with the Diamondbacks, but he didn't really throw very hard. Other than that, I feel like most guys are about 3/4 or lower.
Josh Colementor, if I'm not mistaken, gave up Corey Seager's first career homer. Back when Corey was a Dodger and Colementor was a Diamondback. Rangers leading 3-2. Chance for Josh Young to make his mark in the series. And a good take on the curveball from Graceffo.
Yeah, the last 2 pitches, they were close enough to where you might get a hitter to at least offer a check swing or something. Young didn't even budge on either.
Peterson goes. Young drives one to left. Torres back. He's got it, but that's plenty deep for Higgy to tag from third and score. So Josh Young does the job. He adds to the Rangers' lead. It's sac fly, and Texas is on top 4-2.
Great job by the Rangers manufacturing a run. Leadoff double. They get him over with the sac bunt and the sacrifice fly to score him.
Merv, I think the Rangers have now scored in 6 out of 8 innings in which they've laid down a sac bunt. That's 75%. League average is closer to 60%. So the Nicky Lopez sac bunt, a part of the run scoring inning. I mentioned Graceffo's success against righties. Well, how about against lefties? Lefties hitting just 122 against him. The slider has not yielded a hit against the lefty. Really, none of his pitches have struggled against guys hitting from the left side. Nicky Lopez has been busy again defensively tonight. Had an RBI on a fielder's choice, scored a run, and here in this inning laid down a sac bunt. Strikeout on the changeup, and so Graceffo limits the damage, but the Rangers had a run. 4-2 lead for Texas. See if Nathan Eovaldi comes out for the 7th as the Rangers have a multi-run advantage. Evo's coming out. We'll see Evo pitch after the stretch.
A perfect crossover promo between baseball and football. Specialty night tickets will get you a co-branded Cowboys and Rangers short sleeve hoodie Tuesday, June 16th. Twins play the Rangers that night. Purchase your specialty night tickets at Rangers.com.
Those look sweet. I love the All for Texas hockey sweater that we had last homestand. A little bit of delay waiting on home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez. So Nathan Eovaldi with a chance to do something that no one in Major League Baseball has done since 2022. And that is go 7 or more innings in 6 straight starts. But the first pitch to J.J. Weatherholt's a base hit through the left side. Evo has worked around traffic for a lot of the night and did so well in the 6th after giving up a leadoff single. We do have double barrel action. Cal Quantrill and Jalen Beach throwing. Here's Herrera. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of ground outs. See if Evo can get a good old double play ball here. He gets ahead of Herrera. Just 1-1-2-3 inning for Evaldi. It was his shutdown 5th. But he's done well with men on base. Check swing. And Herrera went around. The curveball gets him off kilter, and the count's 0-2. See, Evaldi's season high 102, 14 away from that. And with the off day Thursday and then another off day Monday, it might give Skip Schumacher a little bit more confidence to extend that leash for Evaldi if he feels like he's the best guy. And it's tough not to feel like Evo's the best guy. Inside it hits Herrera. Well, Evo not happy. You can understand why. Has Herrera in an 0-2 hole and then loses him with the hit batter. Jordan Teague's going to come out.
Just trying to run that fastball in on his hands. It just gets away from him. You see Evaldi, it's a noticeable reaction. We're used to seeing noticeable reactions from him, but this one is very noticeable.
Well, those three, Evo, Teagues, Higgy, chatting it over. Let's hear their thoughts over in the world of Kia. Well, no thoughts from Kia, just some sounds and cool pictures. Love our friends at Kia, and they would love a ground ball. I think that's what Nathan Evaldi would love too. Alec Burleson, one of the better hitters in the league. Not going to be an easy assignment. Burleson represents the go-ahead run. And that one is driven down the left field line, a base hit. Osuna cuts it off, a run scores. Herrera going to third and Burleson up to second. Osuna's throw went to third. That allowed Burleson free rein to get to second. And the Cardinals within a run, 2 in scoring position and nobody out.
For the last 2 innings, Cardinals have 3 hits, all 3 of them the opposite way. So give them credit for not trying to do too much with these Nathan Evaldi offerings, especially you consider this pitch. It's down and away. You try to pull that pitch. It's definitely a double play ball.
So here's Walker, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, 0 for 7 with 7 strikeouts in the series. And he falls behind, whiffing on a splitter. Skip Schumacher leaving Evaldi in to face Walker. Murph, does Osuna's throw need to go to second in that spot? Or is it tough because he sees the play in front of him? And
I think that is...
Looper to left, base hit. We're tied. Walker fired up at first, had struck out in 7 straight plate appearances, but on this one he ties the game. And that's going to be it for Evo. He faces 4 batters in the inning. They all reach. We're tied up at 4. Ryan Torres due up. And the Rangers going to have to go to their bullpen. Jalen Beeks, the lefty, coming on. Go ahead run 90 feet away. We'll see what Beeks is able to do when we come back. Well, it looks like Nelson Velasquez is going to pinch hit for the Cardinals. Men of the corners, nobody out. Jalen Beeks on with the score tied at 4.
Beeks has a 3.86 ERA here in 2026. 7 of 16 inherited runners have scored. Pitched twice in the Kansas City series, giving up 1 earned run in 1 2/3 innings.
You see the bottom of the inherited runners. Not an easy assignment to keep both runners from scoring, but you'd certainly love to limit the damage to just 1 more. Of course, the priority is no more runs. Keep the game tied. Velasquez was used as a pinch hitter yesterday. Fouls the first pitch off in this encounter with Beeks. Velasquez faced Tyler Alexander and struck out looking. When he came on yesterday, he was left on deck. Jacob Latz notched the save. So Jordan Walker's single ties the game. Beeks gets ahead 0-2. Not a huge crowd in St. Louis tonight, but starting to make some noise. Inside, foul ball. Beeks got a little lucky that was a foul ball, not a hit by pitch.
Seems like he reached back for a little bit extra there. Beeks averaging a little over 93 on the fastball. That one 96.
Swing and a miss. 95 on that one. Big strikeout for Jalen Beeks.
It's just a good old-fashioned fastball at the top of the zone. 95. Seems like Beeks is feeling pretty good tonight. That fastball velocity is up there. You know, back to the question that you had asked me. You asked about Osuna's throw on Burleson's ball that was hit down the line. I think that's one of the hardest plays to make as a left fielder, because you always want to go after the lead runner. And so there's a quick decision to make on whether you want to try to get the lead guy, although you need to keep in mind the fact that he's getting a secondary and that he's off on contact. A lot of times he's going to be more difficult to get than the batter runner. So I guess it's easy to say right now, Burleson could still be at second base, and you could have a force at both second and third. I guess the good thing is the double play is still in order.
Win with a couple hits tonight, but he's behind 0-2 after the Beeks changeup. Ron Swanson nodding his head. Pop Warner over in the third base coach's box. And a nice block by Higgy. Didn't quite know where it was, but was within reach. Both runners stay put.
It's going to be a tough one for a catcher.
Wayne is 0 for 4 in his career against Beeks. Walker goes. Wynn fouls it away. There's another changeup. Beeks has thrown 4 pitches to Wynn. All 4 have been changeups. Against righties, Beeks throws the fastball and the changeup primarily. Every once in a while he mixes in a cutter. Against lefties, It's fastball changeup as well. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Another big strikeout for Jalen Beeks.
95 once again, and Jalen Beeks is now just 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
And now any out gets him out unscathed. 2 big-time strikeouts from Beeks, who isn't necessarily a big-time strikeout pitcher. The strikeout rate this year at around 19%, but got him when they counted. And now he's going to face another pinch hitter. Gorman due up, but Jose Fermin going to come off of Ollie Marmol's bench. Even though Eovaldi wasn't able to go 7, Beeks has a chance to protect Eovaldi and help him get a no decision. It would be his first no decision all year. Sometimes you don't want a no decision. In this case, you'll take it. First pitch to Fermin, misses down and in. Now Fermin, 4 for 11 as a pinch hitter this year. He came on yesterday off the bench and lined out. That was against the lefty Alexander. And here he ropes one to left. Osuna over, and he makes the play. Jalen Beeks with a little magic act. Men of the corners, nobody out. None of the runners score. The Cardinals do tie it up, though. We're knotted up at 4 through 7.
Well, as the Rangers enter the 8th inning, we'll show you what they did in the 7th. Leadoff double by Kyle Higashioka, and then just playing some small ball, doing the little things that good teams do late in ball games to win. A bunt and then a sac fly. Higashioka comes around to score. Cardinals added 2 in the bottom of the 7th, so we've got ourselves a tie ball game. But would love to see that. Rangers have 4, 5, 6 coming up. Berger, Duran, and Osuna. And they'll face George Soriano, 23 and 2/3 over 25 games this season. Rangers saw him last night. He's got a really good changeup.
Berger, first pitch swinging in the hole. Wynn, cannon of a throw, gets Berger. Mason Wynn showing off the arm to take a hit away from Jake.
Well, as helpful as small ball is late in games, so is really good defense. We know that Wynn is one of the best in terms of his fielding ability and his arm. We've already seen it once tonight, and he does it again.
That's a heck of a play, and then you consider the moment. Leadoff base runner at stake, and he keeps Berger from getting on board. So here's Duran. He had an infield single against Soriano last night. Takes a first pitch sinker for a strike. Well, new left fielder, it's Nelson Velasquez. He stays in the game, and then remaining in the game at third base is Jose Fermin. Velasquez and Fermin used as pinch hitters last inning. Duran fouls one away. The count now 0-2. Swing and a miss, sweeper, and there are 2 outs in the 8th.
It looked like a fastball out of his hand. I'm sure Zeke thought the same thing. And it just sweeps away on the outside part of the plate at 86 miles an hour.
So it's up to Alejandro Osuna to try and spark a 2-out rally in the top of the 8th. Cardinals have 3 straight lefties due up in the bottom of the 8th, so looks like it's going to be Jalen Beeks perhaps to come back out. Cal Quantrill was warming earlier. And the count's 0-2 to Osuna.
And there's that changeup. He throws it 40% of the time to left-handed hitters.
We're tied at 4. The Cardinals put up a pair of runs in the bottom of the 7th. RBI double from Burleson, RBI single from Walker. Back in 4th game. Counts 2-2. Osuna had an RBI single last time up. Fouls on the way. The count stays 2-2. Osuna asking Manny Gonzalez if that pitch was in the zone. It looked like he was able to foul off a pitch just above the zone. Not an easy pitch to contact.
This is probably going to be a changeup out of the zone.
Well, he goes to the heater, gets the swing and miss. 1-2-3 inning for Soriano. So he shuts down the Rangers bats in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 4. Lou Gehrig Day around Major League Baseball. The man who wore number 4, and we're tied at 4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jalen Beeks did a tremendous job in the bottom of the 7th. He inherited men in the corners and nobody out. Did not allow a run to preserve the tie. Out to try and keep the Cardinals bats at bay in the bottom of the 8th, and the first pitch to Jimmy Crooks misses. Now Beeks has not completed 2 innings of work yet this year, and he has not faced more than 6 batters in an outing. If he gets through the Cardinals 1, 2, 3, it would be a 6-batter outing and a season-high 2 innings. But Cal Quantrill is throwing in the Rangers bullpen. It seems like he would be the next option. The speedy Victor Scott on deck. There's Quantrill just throwing occasionally. You'd imagine the Rangers are without Jacob Latz tonight. Skip Schumacher said that they would consider it, but he also basically told Matt Hicks, listen, in May, it's probably not worth running a guy out 3 days in a row.
I'd never heard that before. He talked about maybe like waiting till July.
1-2, base hits. Crooks heading to second. Leadoff double.
I guess you give him some credit. He battles. Second hit of the night on a pitch in that general area. Both of them in off the plate. He pulls his hands in and drives it down the line.
And we've got a pinch runner, Tommy Saggese, the former Rangers minor leaguer, traded to the Cardinals in the Jordan Montgomery transaction in 2023. He runs really well. He's been used quite often as a pinch runner for the Cardinals. Scott, you'd imagine, tried to bunt. He pulls back and the pitch is a strike. Corners pinching in for the Rangers. Scott pops it up. Young has it in foul ground. A gift for the Rangers off of Victor Scott's bat.
Yeah, that's a big time break. Maybe the difference in the game will be the little things in execution.
So here's the lefty Weatherholt. Figure this might be Beeks' last batter with the righty Herrera on deck. Weatherholt 2 for 4. He's had back-to-back multi-hit games until last night, so it's 3 of his last 4 he's collected multiple hits. Pops it up. Duran. 2 outs. Nice job by Beeks after giving up the leadoff double with a little assist from Victor Scott. Herrera due up. He's not going to face Beeks as Skip Schumacher exits the dugout. So Skip is going to turn to Cal Quantrill. We haven't seen Cal in this type of situation much, but he's going to get the nod to try and keep the game tied. Go ahead run and score in position, 2 outs. It's going to be Cal Quantrill to try and put his foot down when we come back. Tommy Saggese at second is the go-ahead run, bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. Cal Quantrill coming on to face Ivan Herrera.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Quantrill hasn't been in these types of situations frequently. He does have some nice-looking numbers. Sinker, cutter, split finger, four-seamer, and curveball for Quantrill. He's mainly going to be sinker and cutter to righties.
Herrera, first pitch swinging right to Duran. Zeke makes the throw. Crisis averted. Easy work for Quantrill. We're through 8. We're tied at 4. It's Riley O'Brien on a pitch in the top of the 9th, a 4-4 game between the Redbirds and the Rangers.
O'Brien's been pretty good. He's been the closer for the Cardinals this year. He's recorded 14 saves to go with a 3.2 ERA. Just 4 walks for him, 27 strikeouts. And the sweeper is the pitch to highlight. Opponents are 0 for 19 against it with 14 strikeouts.
And we got a new catcher. Pedro Pajes, the backup catcher, is into the game. And O'Brien's first pitch to Evan Carter is swung on and missed.
It registered as a sinker. I think it might have been a changeup. Sinker is 98, 99 for him.
O'Brien, a Red, a Mariner, and since 2024 a Cardinal, has really emerged in this Cardinals bullpen. Sinker just off the plate. Comes from a baseball family. His grandfather and his uncle played in the majors. Johnny O'Brien, his grandpa, and his great uncle Eddie. And here he is pitching in a tie game in the 9th. And he falls behind Carter 3-1. The thing that stood out to me, Murph, we just showed his numbers. O'Brien really hasn't walked guys this year, just 4 walks all year, but now he's behind Carter 3-1. And he walks him. So he walks the speedy Evan Carter in a tie game in the top of the 9th. So with 1 on, nobody out. Kyle Higashioka coming up. First, a message from Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet, the most reliable internet you can count on.
Here's Higgy. He turns to bunt, and that one's angled foul. It was a failed bunt attempt by Victor Scott that really changed the complexion of the bottom of the 8th after a leadoff double by Crooks. Scott popped up a bunt in foul territory, and it was an easy out that didn't advance a runner.
The Rangers got a gift there, and then they have a gift with a leadoff walk to Evan Carter, a guy that just walked his 5th batter in just over 25 innings.
Higgy punched at the bunt, and he's down 0-2.
I think if anything, you see Higgy's body leaning back. You've got to lean out over home plate, make sure to hold your ground. Assuming he's going to be swinging the bat in an 0-2 count now.
And that one gets by Pages. So another gift for the Rangers. Carter advances in a scoring position.
The sweeper is obviously a nasty pitch. That's one that you think Pages can handle. He just doesn't come up with it.
He's not a great blocking catcher. And Higgy goes to right field, a base hit. Carter had a freeze, so he goes to third and stops there. A 3-hit night for Kyle Higashioka. And the Rangers have men in the corners and nobody out for who else, Murph? The guy who's done a little bit of everything, Nicky Lopez, and Higgy turns 100 miles an hour around into a hit.
Great night for Higgy, and just what a strange inning so far for the Rangers. A guy in O'Brien that's coming in. I mean, he's not unhittable with the 3.2 ERA, but maybe not what you would expect with the walk and a single, especially with Higashioka failing to get the bunt down on 2 different attempts.
Here's Lopez. He turns, safety squeeze, and therefore a strike. And Lopez asked for a challenge, and he's going to get the challenge granted. He did hesitate momentarily, but you're supposed to get a couple beats. That pitch was very much a strike.
Texas have 1 challenge to remain.
Rangers do have a challenge left. I wonder if your view's different when you're turning to bunt than when you're just regularly squared up.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I didn't bunt a ton in my career, but I feel like if anything, your head is positioned in a way where you see the strike zone, almost better.
Lopez fouls this one back. So now he's down in an 0-2 count. Now the infield in. Good block that time by Pages. Lopez doesn't have a hit tonight, but he does have an RBI and a key sacrifice bunt. Fouls that one away.
And he is going to have a big left side to hit to. Mason Wynn playing closer to second base. Fermin playing closer to third. So he does have some room over there.
Nice take by Lopez on the nasty sweeper. Two. Tipped, and Lopez stays alive.
This is the hard part as a hitter. You've got the sinker that's 98 to 99 miles an hour. And I told you the numbers on the sweeper. Most likely you're thinking the sweeper's coming, but you've got a battle. If you're looking for a breaking ball and you get 99 to 100, it's going to be tough.
Swing and a miss, gets him on the slider. Big strikeout for O'Brien for the first down at the top of the ninth.
It's a late breaking pitch with some nasty action on it, especially when it's 92 miles an hour. You can see why he's had so much success with it.
And now the Rangers making a move. Michael Hellman pinch running for Kyle Higashioka. The Rangers try and get something going on the bases. O'Brien has induced 4 double plays in just under 26 innings. Peterson was hit by a pitch last time. He's reached 3 times in 4 trips to the plate. A couple of doubles as he continues his surge. There's a shot to left center. It's going to drop for a base hit. Carter comes home from third. Jock Peterson delivers again. Rangers take the lead in the 9th.
Jock was the guy that got the big hit last night. Comes up in a huge situation here again. 100 at the bottom of the zone, or well below the zone if you want to say. Gets it off the end of the bat. The perfect position. And Evan Carter, you see, waits to see the ball down, and then he's able to walk in to score.
My goodness, does this guy turn it around or what? Josh Young takes the first pitch.
Jock going down and getting it. Once again, taking a look at Evan Carter. He wants to make sure, in case an outfielder comes out of nowhere and makes a play, that he can tag and go.
Now the Rangers would like to add some more. It looks like it's going to be Jacob Junis to try and close things out tonight. He's starting to throw in the Rangers bullpen. Righty had a really nice inning last night in a setup role. Young off the fist. Back a weather hole, it falls. Hellman hits third. Walker to the plate. Cut off. Josh Young, RBI single, and the Rangers lead 6-4.
Well, give Skip Schumacher some credit there. Pinch running for Higashioka with Hellman. I strongly doubt that if Higashioka is out there, that they try to make the send. You're in a position, you're up 1, you want to add on an extra run. Jordan Walker's got a great throwing arm, and Hellman in there with the head first slide. Big at bat, Josh Young.
Here's Nimmo. Hey Murph, Wetherell kind of hobbled as he backtracked on that, and he's sort of hobbling around now at second. He's not looking into the dugout, but something to note.
Yeah, I see the same thing.
Grimacing, see him lifting up that right leg. I don't know if it would have made a difference, but it did seem like he lost a little steam going back on it. And the count's 0-2 to Nimmo. Nimmo 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. He's never struck out 5 times in a game. He'll try to avoid that here, but in a tough spot. Able to stay alive. What a 9th inning for the Rangers. Evan Carter draws a walk. Kyle Higashioka a 2-strike base hit, setting it all up. And then RBI hits from Peterson and Young. 2 guys who have been so big for the Rangers pretty much since the start of April. Neither guy got a hit in March. Both guys were 0 for March. And these days, that's not nothing, right? It used to be maybe you play a game or 2 in March. But since April, both those guys have been nails. Good take by Nimmo.
That's why you play 162, right? It's noticeable when guys get off to a tough start early in the year. especially statistically. And it's a little bit annoying as a player when you've got a batting average below 100 or somewhere in the hundreds. But give these guys credit. I mean, they both battled back, especially Jock for the difficult year that he had last year and the tough start. I mean, he is really the Rangers' most consistent hitter right now. I mean, he has been carrying this offense.
Nimmo to center. Scott makes the play, but Peterson able to tag from third. He scores. Nimmo sack fly. Rangers lead 7-4. It's a great job by Nimmo after falling behind 0-2.
When you ask for insurance runs, this is obviously a best case scenario. Fell behind 0-2. Struck out 4 times already in the game, but great team at bat for him as you see Peterson cross the plate.
Berger down the line, foul.
The Cardinals had been really good coming into the series. In 1-run games, they were 11-5. Rangers beat them at their own game last night.
Hey Murph, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but I wonder if we're going to look back on this stretch of the season and say, hey, this is kind of where things turn. You talk about beating them at their own game, just the versatility in ways the Rangers are not only finding ways to score but win games. Really impressive.
100%.
And also, not to get ahead of ourselves, you know, we always talk about the game within the game. I don't know if tomorrow's game is going to be close or not, but certainly making Riley O'Brien not available if it is a close game. Now, I know he hasn't pitched well tonight, but he has been reliable for the Cardinals this year. Berger swings and misses on the sweeper. We got 2 outs. Oh, sorry, final out of the inning. The Jays get it done. Jock giving the Rangers the lead. And then Josh Young adding to it. Add in a Brandon Nimmo sac fly. The Rangers put up 3 in the top of the 9th. They lead 7-4. The Rangers score 3 in the top of the 9th. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Jacob Junis on to try and close it out for the Rangers.
We saw Junis throw last night. This will be the 3rd time that he has gone back-to-back days this season. Just great looking numbers for him. Another guy, just 5 walks. He's got 3 saves. You want to make it easy on your manager. Threw 12 pitches last night, 10 for strikes. Definitely makes it a lot easier if you're going to go back-to-back. We did see Danny Jansen back there taking over the catching duties.
Kyle Higashioka, after his 3rd hit of the game, lifted for a pinch runner. So Danny J behind the plate. Junis, 6 saves in his career. He already has 3 this year. Excuse me, 5 saves in his career, 3 this year. Well, the Cardinals had a 2-0 lead through 4. The Rangers then scored 4 unanswered. Cardinals tied it up with a chance to take the lead that they squandered. They had men at the corners and nobody out. Jalen Beeks came in. He struggled squandering inherited runners. Just you squandered twice in about 10 seconds. But he did just that, and here's a swing and a miss. Burleson goes down. 1 away in the bottom of the 9th. And so Beeks had a magic act, and that kind of helped set up the 9th inning for the Rangers.
It really did. When you go back to the missed bunt attempt by the Cardinals, they get that bunt down, makes it easier for them to manufacture a run. If they take the lead, it makes it way more difficult for the Rangers in that inning, playing from behind rather than a tie ball game.
Yeah, that missed bunt in the 8th inning after the Jimmy Crooks double. There's Walker. He finally put a ball in play this series when he had an RBI single to tie the game in the 7th. It was 0 for 7 with 7 strikeouts prior to that. When you get a big power guy like Walker coming up in this spot, you certainly love that he's not the tying run. 15 home runs for Walker this year. Junis hasn't allowed a homer this year. He's done a good job keeping the ball on the ground. And there's another one on the ground. Berger, the scoop. Did he stay on the bag? He did. What a job by Berger, flopping to keep that one in his glove and in time to get Walker.
Just a great job by Berger, working through that baseball, staying down through it. Seemed like a routine play for Zeke, moving to his left, gets the throw over just a little bit short. I think the key there for a first baseman is making sure to stay low, working from the ground up. Good hands. My bad.
It's a lot easier to smile about that one when your first baseman helps you out. So here's Velasquez, last hope. Rangers 1 out from the new season high in consecutive wins at 5. On the ground, right side. Lopez to first, not in time. That was a great effort by Nicky Lopez. Rangers going to consider a review. And will stand as an infield single. Velasquez reaches. I think Lopez did just about all he could there.
Yeah, pretty much an infield hit right off the bat. This is good placement. Junis covered. Lopez made his best effort. It was going to be a hit. Kind of been one of the stories of the game, soft contact. Just each team finding some holes at times.
So here's Wynn with a couple of hits. Now, if the Rangers win, I know it's early in the year still, but they would have a playoff spot all to themselves. Toronto lost earlier to Atlanta.
Pretty much everybody's doing that this year.
Yeah. Atlanta 41-20. Wynn pops it up. 5 in a row. Yes, sir. The Rangers come from behind. They win a roller coaster contest 7-4. They've won 5 straight, and they secure a series win in the Lou.
Big hit from Jock Peterson. Another 3 for 4 night for him as he stays hot. Lots of great execution and big hits down the stretch for Texas.
Bullpen doing their job too. Quantrill gets the win. Junis gets the save. The Rangers are rolling 7-4. The Rangers come out on top tonight.